everyone. Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. Welcome to another pull list show where we look at all the comics that I was able to pull this week and buy. So let's go take a look at the comic scam. Here we go. Hello, everyone. Lots of Yu-Gi-Oh cards still left over there. Need to organize that. But today we're going to start with the indie books. So first we'll start with Carmen number 4 from Image Comics by Gay in March. If you remember from the previous shows, this is an independent comic that I pulled only because I saw Gay in March's name on it. I'm a little behind on the actual story, but this is the second to last issue, so I should be getting pretty caught up once everything is out, really. So I just keep kind of picking it up as we go along. Next up, we have Freak Snow. This is a book from Behemoth Comics, which is a smaller imprint. I hadn't bought anything from them, but this is by Kevin Rodatelli, who's a writer, Rob Cannon, who's a writer and artist. This particular cover is by Ryan Brown, who you may know from curse words and stuff like that. So I pulled this book because our friends over at I Freaking Love Comics had Kevin on the show to talk about his book, and as soon as he kind of gave us the pitch, and here's what the synopsis that we have: a frozen apocalyptic story in the spirit of Mad Max, Fallout, Borderlands meets Tarantino. It begins with Bernie, a psychedelic addict surviving in a glacial wasteland. A fight with brutal gunslingers ensues, and crazy hallucinations lead our weird hero on a quest to find the whole truth. So, yeah, once he kind of pitched the book, I was like, oh, I got to check this out. So I called my shop and I asked Jeremy to pull this for me, and I'm very glad he did. So, Freak Snow number 1, check that out. Next up, Baby Teeth number 18. This is from Aftershock Comics by Donny Cates, Gary Brown. We're getting so close to the end of this book. Yeah. I'll just tell you what the solicit says. Seriously, guys, just go buy this comic. Like, yeah, I agree. This is a pull quote from the synopsis, and I completely agree. I'm a little behind, but I'm gonna pick this up until the end of the world. Really, we're gonna ride or die with this one. You guys know I'm a big fan of Donny Cates. Up next, we have God of War, Fallen God, number 4, from Dark Horse. This is by Chris Robertson, Tony Parker, Dan Jackson, letters by Jimmy Betancourt, and there's 2 letters. Oh, from Comic Craft. Okay. So, yeah, this is this cover is by Gabriel Delotto. So like I mentioned when I think I did a review for number 1, and number 1 really felt like a 0 issue. So I'm waiting for this to be completed. I think there's 1 or 2 more. This does take place in between, not the last game that came out, but before that. So I'm kind of looking forward to figuring out how this all gets resolved. I played every God of War, even though I'm not a big gamer. I have played every God of War book, so I'm definitely interested in finding out the story of this next arc. All right. Next up, we have The 6 Sidekicks of Trigger Keaton, number 1. This is a Skybound book. It's Skybound from Image Comics. This is by Kyle Starks, with art by Chris Schweizer, and I picked up the Erica Henderson cover because I love her covers, so I wanted to pick that up. I picked this up as I was listening to the I Read Comic Books podcast. My buddy Mike mentioned this book, and I was like, oh, that sounds rad. And so when I went to the store this week, they had it, and I went and actually checked it out. And I haven't read it, but I mean, the cover looks pretty cool. So, last but certainly not least, Secret Land number 1 from Christopher M. Grad, Thomas Ira. This looks like a war comic. I'm not really sure. It's a 1 out of 4, so I just picked it up because the cover looked pretty cool. And Dark Horse has been doing some interesting stuff as they try to bring in more stuff that's not from the old licenses that they have now passed on to Marvel. As you guys may know, Dark Horse a long time ago had the Star Wars license. Obviously, since the acquisition, that's all gone back to Marvel, or at least since 2014. I think it was maybe, I guess, when the contract ran out. But Dark Horse also is not publishing Alien, Predator, all that universe. So they've been putting out some interesting stuff like this to kind of, other than Black Hammer, they need to fill the void. So here we go. All right, let's move on to DC Comics. All right, so for DC Comics, we have Batman the Detective #3. This is a book written by Tom Taylor with art by Andy Kubert, inks by Sandra Hope, colors by Brad Anderson, and letters by Clem Robbins. I won't talk about this book a lot because I actually did a review for this book earlier in the week. I'll put the link on the description of the video, so go check that out. But overall, thumbs up. I'm loving this series. Next up, we have Rorschach #9. This is by Tom King with art by Jorge Fornes. This is actually the variant cover by Francesco Mattina. This follows the new story that Tom King is doing in the world of Watchmen, following this new Rorschach. I don't want to go too much into details. This is a different Rorschach from what we saw in Doomsday Clock. I will say that. But yeah, go check this out. It's only 12 issues. So we are at issue 9, so we are 3/4 of the way there to finish this book. So go check that out. Next, we have Batman Urban Legends #4. So I'm really enjoying these little stories. This is like the anthology book that has a few parts of a story. Like the Grifter story kind of goes in all the books. So we have some stories there, some little one-shots, little stories. So you guys know I'm going to pick up anything Batman. There's a lot of creators in this book. Maybe I'll drop it in the edit. But if not, just go check it out. I really, really recommend it. Next up, we have The Joker #4 by James Tynion IV. Co-written with Sam Jones, Mirka Andolfo on art. This cover is by Guillaume March. Colors by Romulo Fajardo Jr. and Arif Prianto on the cover artist. Letters by Tom Napolitano. And also letters by Ariana Meher. I think there are 2 stories. I've only read the first issue of this. So this kind of follow. Oh yeah, because there's a punchline story always in the back of these. So yeah, go check this out. James Tynion's work is amazing. Even though I'm behind, I can, just based on the first comic, just based on the first issue, I recommend this. Next, we have Future State Gotham. Excuse me. This is by Joshua Williamson and Dennis Culver, with art by Giannis, Mielo Giannis, Jose Landron on covers. This is one of the last Future State book that's kind of still around. So the stories here you'll see is in that future state that we saw earlier in the year, which I really enjoy the premise of what was going on in Gotham there. And this follows the Red Hood, who is one of the more compelling characters that I like from the Bat family. So yeah, I'm definitely I need to catch up on this, but I recommend it. This is probably the staple in my pool. Yeah, because even I even dropped Batman for a few issues. So Detective Comics 1037. This is part 4 of the current arc by John Ridley, Mariko Tamaki, Dustin Nguyen on art, which we don't get Dustin Wynn on a lot of interiors, so I definitely recommend this. Also, Carl Morset on art, Victor Vondanovich on pencils and inks, Jonathan Glapian. There's a lot. There's 2 stories going on here, so that's why there's so many credits. Jordi Belair on colors and John Callis on colors. So yeah, I kind of like that they're doing 2 stories per issue. This gives me the feels of the old Detective Comics, 2-in-1 kind of storytelling. So yeah, those are definitely cool. Next up, we have the DC Pride Anthology. This is a one-shot, but it is a 100-page one-shot. There are so many creators in this book that I'm not even going to go through them. Just know that with this book, you will get bang for your buck. There's so many stories, so many creators, all representing the LGBTQIA plus community. Yeah, I'm just really excited to get to read this. I haven't had a chance to read this, but it's actually on my queue before the show tomorrow. I want to get this so we can actually talk about it. And of course, I had to get the DC Pride Anthology with the Jen Bartel cover because it's beautiful. It's amazing. I love Harley and Ivy. So, there's not much more to say about that other than it was a really, really great cover that I had to get. And last but not least, this is not a book I'm picking up currently. This is Wonder Woman 773, written by Jordi Belair and Becky Cloonan and Michael Conrad. There's a lot of writers on this book. Yeah, well, I don't know what's happening over at Wonder Woman. This is the Paulina Ganuccia variant for Pride. So yeah, I'm not picking up Wonder Woman. Normally, I read that in trade from the DC Infinite service. So, but I had to pick up. I really like this cover, and I wanted to pick it up. So that's all the DC books I have. Let's go on to Marvel Comics. All right, for Marvel covers, you guys should already kind of be expecting some of the stuff that I'm getting. I'm very predictable when it comes to my comic reading habits. And of course, X-Men 21, the final Hellfire Gala tie-in. Jonathan Hickman with art by Sara Pichelli and Nick Dragotta. There's a little bit more to this book, but this is a Hellfire Gala issue. I haven't read it, but I have read the first 3 Hellfire Gala items, and they are very good. So next up, we have Excalibur number 19. Oh, excuse me, number 21 by Tini Howard, Jonathan Hickman, Marcus Stowe, with colors by Eric Arciniaga and Ariana Maher on letters. This is another Hellfire Gala tie-in. So I think we may be done with it this week. I have to check the back of the books to see how long. Whoops, spoilers. Let's see. It looks like we will still have Planet Size X-Men and Swords, so we should have maybe one more or two. So, yeah, but I'm really enjoying the Hellfire Gala. So, all right, next up, Children of the Atom number 4. This is written by Vita Ayala and art by Paco Medina, colors by David Curiel and Travis Lanham. I love the X-Men books that are based on a younger team. Excuse me, on a younger team. So yeah, and you guys know if you watch my review from this week that Vita Ayala, I pick up pretty much every one of their books. So, all right. Next up, Heroes Reborn number 6, written by Jason Aaron with pencils by Eric DeRusso and Ed McGuinness. This is the issue about Power Princess, which is the Wonder Woman facsimile, as you can probably tell from the cover, which the cover is really cool. I like how there's a lot of action going on here. I haven't read this issue because I'm behind on Heroes Reborn, as I'm behind on pretty much everything. But yeah, I'm gonna keep picking Heroes Reborn just because it's an event that I wanna be in the know Next up, Heroes Reborn Nightwing #1. This is written by Vita Ayala, art by Farid Kamari, colors by Eric Arcienega, and letters by Cory Petit. This cover is by Ian Herring, I think. Yeah, I believe so. So for this one, I actually did a full review this week. Overall, thumbs up, but I'll put a link on the description for the review. I really like one of my favorite books. I love Nightwing's outfit. It's just really cool. All right, up next, Iron Man #9 with a cover by Alex Ross. If you have a keen eye, you could probably tell that. Written by Christopher Campbell, art by Cafu, colors by Frank D'Armata, and letters by Joe Carmagno. This Iron Man run has been excellent. As you guys have also maybe heard, any book that Christopher Campbell's putting out, I'm probably picking it up. So I'm very excited to finally have Iron Man on my pull list. All right, the one Star Wars book I have for the week, Star Wars Bounty Hunters #13. The event continues. I haven't started it, but this is written by Ethan Sachs, Paolo Vignelli on art, Giuseppe Camuncoli on the cover. And yeah, this is how did we get Han Solo and Carbonite from one movie to the other, pretty much. So yeah, if you want to know that story, go pick up this War of the Bounty Hunters. And of course, some variants. This is my X-Men 21 Hellfire Gala variant with Scott. Scott just looks so tightly wound in this, like too formal. I don't know. It feels like he's the only one that doesn't know how to party. So yeah, so that's the variant for that. And then we have the Excalibur 21 with Betsy Braddock, aka Captain Britain, on the variant. See, this one has a little more panache, a little more flash to it, as opposed to Cyclops' kind of boring outfit. So I don't know, but it just fits so well with his personality. And I'm not gonna dunk on Cyclops for too long, but yeah. So that's all the books for this week. If you're watching this on the day of release, happy Superman Day. It is Superman Day today, which is why I'm wearing my Superman shirt. Join us at the live this week. We'll be talking about a big recap of Netflix's Geek Week, which was this past week, where they kind of really much announced like everything that's going on probably for the rest of the year. And we're just going to go over some of our favorite announcements and highlights. If you're watching this, thanks for watching. Remember to share, like, subscribe, leave us a comment. What was your comic book pick of the week? Is there any comics you read from what I showed you? Anything like that. Share this with your friends. Yeah, so thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.